Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan, and this is basically 189 part basically, which is ongoing. And till now, basically, we have discussed lots of things. Basically, uh, the topic basically we have discussed that is basically the subscription plan, the World Bank basically how they are connected with the subscription plan, and how World Bank is connected with the whole world. That also we have discussed. In real, basically, the USA. USA basically is number one in the software industry, but in real it's not like that. In real basically it's not like that. That basically we have discussed. Then basically we have discussed that each and every subscription plan basically. For example, uh, there are 100 people staying in one city. So according to the 100 city, sorry, the in one city 100 people are staying, right? Assume that. Assume that there is no world, nothing, just a new world is created, and 100 people are staying in one city, and the city basically which is created, that is the first city. Assume that. So, and assume that the energy, power supply companies, and nuclear power plant, and the subscription plant group basically exist. Exist means assume that the Earth planet has created one new planet, and there basically they have created one city, and in the city basically assume that it's everything fresh means it's a new city, new planet, everything is new. So the combination will be like this. Combination will be subscription plan, World Bank, new city, new country, new planet. Then 100 people are there. They basically are specially cloned from the IBM company, and IBM company told that we will create the chain between that new planet and the Earth planet. So whatever chaining system basically is going to create, that basically is going to create it by IBM group. So that basically told. So like this, the new planet created. 100 people got the permission basically. Permission means 100 people can basically have the. Basically, they have the permission. Basically, they have the visa. They got the visa. Basically, they were cloned. Cloned means the people basically die, and after that die, uh, their body was basically cloned, and then basically they were sent to the new planet. Like this, it basically like this. The lots of planet, Earth planet has not created. I am not telling that. So I'm telling here that is the new planet was created. Assume that basically the new planet is created. Some people thought that if we in future basically Earth planet might get some problem, so they created new planet. Just taking as an assumption basically. So the backup plan is always there. It might possible that the new planet creation came into picture. Somebody told that from universe that so be prepared for new planet also. So that he why he told that basically might be some calculation basically. It's a universe calculation. So they told that be ready for new planet. So like this, they here basically I'm just taking as an example so that basically it's easy to understand. So like this, the 100 people were basically got the permission. 100 people means they were cloned from IBM company, and then basically here also basically I'm just taking as an example as an right. But the software company do the human cloning, and human cloning only are done by the software companies only, and from few software basically from few softwares you can't earn the money up to the certain level, right? Up to the to create one big company from few softwares basically you can't create the big company, right? So this is basically one of the big you can say the one of the big income, which basically is ongoing. That is also basically with the permission of government, because without permission of government, nothing happens. That basically everybody knows. If you want to create one lab in the school, there basically also permission is required. And what basically government do, that basically everybody knows. For example, in science book, their formula basically says that a plus b, but there basically when a plus b gets generated, that time basically the c automatically gets connected, so that becomes to a plus b plus c. So the c basically is the government, and that is not written in the book. So you can just imagine the government, what is government. That basically it's written in the book. No, it's not written in the book. That's why basically it's a government. So there are lots of things basically which government don't disclose in the front of the public. This basically the science formula, right? If it's in school, basically it's a normal school basically. In normal school lab basically, if a plus b equal to automatically converts to c, then you can just imagine the big level of R&D centers. The big, if in one small school the government has kept like this of control, then you can just imagine the big level of R&D centers basically, big level of R&D centers, and the big level of nuclear power plant and the power companies basically. They are basically how it might be. So basically here basically we are not talking about the how the government is keeping their control. Here basically they are telling that anybody can take the place of ours. So basically how we can give our chair to anybody. So that basically we are not discussing here, that how basically government has kept their control by A plus B automatically converts to C. So here basically we are not discussing that. So here basically the topic is the new planet got created, and the universe people told that be ready for new planet. For that basically they created new planet. Like this basically he is telling every month. Assume that he is telling every month. Be ready for new planet, be ready for new planet. Like this basically assume that there are more than 20 lakh planet created with the human population and with the human cloning also. And in this basically big software companies played their role also. And like this basically they generated the chaining system in universe also. So assume that there are 25 to 30 lakh planet created, and they have placed the human also there with the help of the human cloning, and they have generated the chaining system also. So that the basically any data want to pass from this planet to that planet, if any planet data is supposed to get from that planet to this planet, then basically it's easy to get. So for that basically they have created. So here basically we have taken one new example. New fresh planet has created, and there basically what they have created new nuclear power plant, they have created new energy power plant, they have created new power plant, they have created around 200 houses, they have created a few commercial complex. For that basically to stay there in our planet, basically the money system is created. The barter system basically they are not created. Why? Basically because the our planet has already done the barter system. So basically they told that we can issue the money. So basically in 20th lakh planets, the money is basically getting controlled from the Earth planet. Money is getting controlled from the Earth planet. So you can just imagine the chaining system also. Chaining system of the computers to computer. Here basically we just know about the thing that is basically the networking chain between one company to another company. The we have saw the internet also. Internet means cable line pipelines, but we never basically saw this. That is basically the planet to planet computer data which is getting supplied. So you can just imagine the chaining system basically which actually generated long before basically. It's not if the 20 lakh planet is created, then basically you can just imagine from when this human cloning business, sorry, not business, this is not business, the human cloning system is ongoing. But this has basically converted to business, for some group. So here basically we are not discussing that the human cloning has converted into the business, and it's a huge business basically which chain has generated, and big level of countries basically has generated the human cloning business. So like this, the new entire new chain got created. So that also basically we have discussed. We have discussed that also that .NET basically has created from thousand cities. .NET is created from thousand cities, and before .NET creation, before .NET, each and every command line, um, for example, SQL connection is one class. To create that class file, basically around 2 kilometer areas are created. So you can just imagine. Basically, I'm just taking it as an example. To create one .NET, the thousand cities are created. So thousand cities basically you can just imagine the kilometers length also. In one city, basically the minimum kilometers are what? 100 kilometers. Then basically it's a thousand. So thousand multiplied by 100, how much it is? So you can just imagine the kilometer length also basically. The kilometer length also basically which the city has created. So like this basically here basically we are discussing that .NET is created from thousand cities. So when the .NET was on creation, that time basically the .NET construction area was already created. Then only basically they have given the permission. Sorry, they have not given the permission. The government has given the permission. Yeah, basically your .NET software creation physical areas are done. Now you can start the virtual creation. That is basically the software. So just imagine how the basically the entire software industry is connected, and that also chained. Chained means how computer to computer, within company, computers to computers, one to one company, companies to company, computers to computers, cities to cities, computers to computer, cities to states, computer to computer, countries to countries, computer to computer, countries to cables, computer to computer, computers to satellites, computer to computer, from planets to planets. So one planet to another planet, like this, basically 20 lakh planets are created. Just taking as an example, but in real, basically it might be some big number. It might not be 20 lakh. So backup plan is already ready of the Earth planet. So it's I think the process is not going since so 20 lakh planet basically you can just imagine. So basically it's basically you can say the Earth planet has created there are lots of areas that also you can say. So there basically the people the thing basically which we are discussing that basically the God that is basically the Krishna Bhagwan, then the Kartik God, the Shiv Shankar God, the Jesus God, they all basically might be knowing. Their family might be knowing that there are basically it's more than 20 lakh people. This also basically some Bollywood person has told me that basically this type of chaining system is also created. So basically you can just imagine the Earth planet. So lots of people says that we don't have any planet, we don't have any Earth planet, light planet. That basically it's in front of the public. That basically that's in front of the public, right? That there is no like planet. We are basically searching the planet, and to stay in the planet, basically we need the some certain space in universe. But in real, what is that? In real, basically there is no like sun and moon. It's just a light effect. It's such a slight effect. New planet creation basically is a one small light creation. Basically, you can say. So just imagine basically the planets to planet chaining system, which is basically already happened. So here basically we are discussing about the planets to planets, computers to computers that are basically the planets to planets system which is already created, and they are basically passing the data also since many. So basically, the big companies that are basically IBM, Microsoft, they basically are earning up to the level of money you can just imagine. So from few softwares, basically you can imagine they can earn the money. No, it's not possible. If you're jumping into the universe level stuff, then only basically you can earn the money up to the level because you have the control of entire Earth, right? If you are jumping into the universe level task, then by default you are going to get the entire control of the Earth planet, right? Because you have already jumped into the universe level stuff. You have already jumped into the universe level, so you have a full power of the Earth planet. But the power basically are not supposed to misuse. That also basically lots of people says that power are not supposed to be misused. But if you have a power, then basically you have to help the people. That also basically the people says. That also the people says. So like this basically here basically we are discussing about the planets to planets chain is already generated long before the .NET equal to thousand city creation. Then basically the subscription plan groups knows lots of things basically. Example thousand sorry 100 people are basically staying in one city. So they know that basically the 100 cities are staying in this city. Why? Because they are passing the oxygen data to that city. Then basically the how many people have the diseases that also because subscription plan data they are passing, right? Bollywood group have each and every videos. Bollywood group says that when the lava blast was happened in the Vadodara city, that time basically it was not Vadodara name. That was on land basically near the sea basically. The land, a few land was there, and that land basically the lava blast happened, and it was the biggest blast basically that the Bollywood groups are telling, and they are telling that they have the videos also. And then from the lava blast, the sand got created, and from sand only the basically 3 to 4 people got generated, and they basically got some human body structure, and then basically the human generation started out of Vadodara city, and slowly the people basically start coming to the Vadodara city. So that like this basically it's a story basically. So the story is the lava blast happened, one mountain got created. That is basically the Pavagadh mountain known as a Pavagadh mountain. And there basically the Mahakali temple are basically situated. So that basically also we have discussed. Now basically we are going to discuss about the stories basically. For example, one person basically was first in the school, then basically he got failed degree. Failed degree means he was failed. How basically first rank holder become failed. That story got generated. Then basically he become young. Then he got the marriage. Then basically he got divorced. Then basically he lost lots of job. He lost lots of money due to divorce. Then basically his story is ongoing. Like this basically the story got generated. So like this the blood cells all got generated. So according to the what to say, according to the behavior, according to the activities which each and every person is doing, according to that the blood cells are basically getting generated. So basically one person asked basically the question, how basically it's possible that from activities blood cells are getting generated. So blood cells is knowing that they you are basically doing these activities. That basically the one of the person asked, one of the software company person asked the Bollywood, because Bollywood group says that we are created each and everything, and we have saw each and everything, each and every creation also. So they have saw the Vadodara city creation also. So like this, the software company person basically asked that how basically from activities, how from the activities, how from the activities the blood cells can generate. Then basically from one person told that if one person is a diabetes person, another person is a heart person, third person is a BP person, fourth person is a HIV AIDS person, and sixth person is basically having some head chakra problem. One person is having some eye disease. So like this, basically many person are there. Then each and every person are doing same activities. Then the blood cells basically which going to generate, that is by default it should generate same only. The same data is supposed to pass, but the data is going to pass how? The HIV/AIDS person basically is going to get some different disease, sorry, different energy, because he is the HIV/AIDS, na? So he got the HIV/AIDS. So his data is totally different. Nowadays, people says that HIV/AIDS medicine also created the uh, antibiotic also basically got created, and one person told that whole world have the HIV/AIDS blood cells inside their body. This type of words are also there. Few people says that few energy gets into your body, and then basically HIV/AIDS blood cells gets activated. So that type of thing basically the rumors are also there. So basically there are many rumors, right? And what is right, that basically the knowledgeable person only know, that whether really the whole world is connected with HIV/AIDS or not. If the whole world have the HIV/AIDS blood cells inside their body, then basically why it's not showing in the uh, um, blood cells X-ray machine? Why it's not showing it? Then basically he told that if to get the HIV/AIDS blood cells active, it's not activated in the each and every human bodies. So he told that HIV blood cells is there in each and every human body, but it's not activated. So he told that few energy gets into their person's body, and then the HIV/AIDS gets activated. Like this, he told that diabetes disease is also like that. Each person have the diabetes disease in their body, that basically certain energy level gets attracted in their body, and then basically the diabetes gets activated. So like this, many basically rumors are there. So which is correct, that basically the knowledgeable person only basically can say, who have the full knowledge of the medical industry, who are basically the master of the doctors, who are the master of the blood cells, who basically really know that planet equal to blood cells, who actually know that the planets equal to blood cells, who basically know that the 20 lakh planets is already created, and there basically the oxygen chain, sorry, the energy chain is also generated. For example, 20 lakh planets are there, then at least 20 lakh, 20 lakh PC also might be there. Minimum 20 lakh PC might be there, right? 20 lakh computers minimum might be there, right? Because 20 lakh it's a PC. Then the setup might be there, the server setup might be there, lots of infrastructure might be there to pass the data to 20 lakh planets. At least basically you require 20 lakh 20 lakh computers, right? That can be laptop, that can be anything basically you can say. So basically to create 20 lakh planets, sorry, the 20 lakh computers within the planet, and you are basically connecting from planets to planets. So at least you require 20 lakh, right? Without 20 lakh, basically you can't. How basically you are going to connect from one planet to another planet? Because to do the chaining only basically it might taking lots of months. Just to do the chaining only, basically it might have taken lots of months, right? So basically lots of R&Ds are done, lots of satellites are created. So without satellites also basically you can't pass the data. So like basically it's there are many rumors basically. Uh, this also basically we can say that it's not rumor, basically it's a fact. Sun and moon basically does not exist. It's just a light effect, and planet is equal to light. That also basically people says that. So set of planets that converts to the light, and then basically you see the sun moon effect. So that also people says that. So what is correct, what is wrong? That basically who really know the data, who basically has really generated the matrix, they only can basically easily able to say. They have generated matrix means which type of matrix. So there are many matrix basically. The sun and moon basically when gets raised, That time basically the light get effect. So light getting effect, that is basically one of the metrics, right? When sun gets rays, then basically it's a hot energy. When moon gets rays, it's a cool energy. So that's basically the matrix, right? The matrix basically generates in the planet's energy. Then basically the things basically gets connected, right? Otherwise, basically how it's going to connect. So here basically we are not discussing that topic. That is also basically a good topic. That basically this everything basically we have already discussed long before. So here basically we are discussing that how subscription plan basically are basically connected. How stories basically activates deactivates the blood cells. So we have taken lots of example of the blood cells. Then basically we saw that VC++ is that there is one software which basically was banned in 1998 and 98 and 99. And the process of the ban and this software was banned also. And to ban the software, it takes at least some time. So assume that in 1997, 96, the software banning process started. The software banning process started. Like this, the ban system started. They banned the VC software. They banned the VC software also. And then basically they banned the VC software finally in front of the public by giving the support, by not giving the support. Because support system basically is activated, but it's not with the. So you can just imagine the data critical levels also. The data science project is basically who has created for specially for VCs of VC plus plus developers, VC plus plus project managers, VC plus plus directors, VC plus plus companies owner who are basically really doing the VC plus plus projects, which basically normal public don't know. In front of the government also VC plus plus is banned. In front of government also VC plus plus is banned. VC plus plus is banned, right? It's banned. So VC plus plus then basically created PHP. Then basically the Python software also created. Then basically the framework got created. Lots of frameworks are there. More than 35 frameworks are there in PHP only. Then WordPress is there. When you decode the WordPress, then basically it's a PHP. So like this, basically there are many stories of the VC++ also, and it's basically legally ongoing, right? So you can just imagine the legal structure also, because VC++ is really banned in front of the public, but it's not banned. Its work is ongoing. So to create one .NET software, basically, it has taken thousands of days. Then basically, you can just imagine the VC++ is a big software. VC++ is a big software. It might have taken more than thousands of days. So thousand cities, basically one city creation is 15 lakh to 20 lakh crore. So you can just imagine the critical level also in the legal area also. Legal area also basically you can just know the critical level, and this basically everybody knows. Most of people basically who says that VC++ is banned, but in really which is the production and the maintenance of the projects are basically ongoing. If you run the software basically, then basically you can't say that this software is created in the VC++. This software is created in the C++, Java. It's in Java basically. Sometimes basically you can say because the Java logo is getting displayed in the Java side, and it's Java symbol is mostly basically displayed in the each and every software. So basically from Java basically you can track it. But in nowadays basically the logos are basically also kept hidden, and then basically the company adds their logo. So it's very difficult nowadays to tell also. So we have discussed the VC++ software also. So here basically we are discussing that how basically Bollywood groups are basically telling. that we have created the software industry. So basically, from this all this thing, basically, you can just imagine if you are creating a new city. Before any creation of the new city, the user story basically which is going to create for the city, that basically the Bollywood person is only going to write, and which is basically approved by the nuclear power company. Uh, Sorry, the nuclear power company and the energy companies and the power company. They only mostly basically says that this is the user story that you have to write. So then basically the user stories are written. Then the user stories are written. The user story says that we want this much population. This much population has to be controlled. After this population, the population is not supposed to increase. So population control is also basically with the hand of the government, because uh, to get birth basically the men and women basically do the sexual activities, and then basically only the birth happens. But it's not like that, right? Men and do basically do the sex, and then basically the human souls basically is there is one energy that gets activated in your body from the set of sources basically. For that basically many energy companies are also there. Then basically we can't disclose the name of the energy companies because it's very critical, right? It's a very critical data because you are creating the next generation. You are creating the next generation, and what would be the next generation data that is inside that child, right? So how you can disclose the energy power company also, where this basically the next generation human source is getting generated. For that, what would be the uh, this how the next generation will be, how the next generation child will be. Few people are so basically rigid that they don't allow the people to have their next generation. So that type of groups are also there because they don't allow uh, to have this next generation. So that type of people are also there. For that, basically, they might be doing some planning that he is not supposed to get married, he is not supposed to have birth. So that type of basically activities are also there basically in the world. But we are not discussing that basically. But we are here discussing that the next generation basically things are also basically there. So here basically we are discussing the what? We are discussing that the formula what, and here we have discussed that if any new city gets created, then which type of uh, energy the city is going to generate, which type of water basically is going to dump into the city, which type of dam are going to create. Dam basically by default it's a water. Then basically according to the dam creation and according to the energy which is going to set by the nuclear power companies and the power company plant and energy companies, which type of human needs are going to be dumped here, because that it's a chaining system, right? Because we have this discussed this also, this chaining system we have already discussed, that how basically mall groups basically gets the human needs from with the help of the nuclear power companies, with the help of the mall, with the help of the companies, that we have already discussed. So if you are creating any new cities, basically the chaining systems are there. This all thing basically, which type of human basically can stay in this. For example, in Mumbai, basically, if anybody says that you basically, if you want to stay in Mumbai, then basically you have to visit. If you want your house in Mumbai, own house in Mumbai, then basically you have to visit Mumbra Devi temple. So this type of basically the things are there. So Mumbra Devi decides whether he can stay in the Mumbai or not. Few people says that we basically not got the job in Mumbai, and then basically we came back to Mumbai. Sorry, from the Mumbai. So that type of people are also there. That means the Mumbra Devi was not happy with that person. It might be like that. or basically he might not have visited the Mumbai Devi temple. But Mumbai Devi basically photos basically everywhere is there in Mumbai. So that photo is also enough, right? He visits the photo and then basically he by default visited the Mumbai Devi temple. So here basically we have discussed that the Bollywood group basically the Bollywood groups basically says that we basically create the city and how basically city we has created that also basically we have already saw basically how the cities are getting created, how the human souls are basically getting created, how the human souls are basically getting created. That also basically we have discussed how the entire city gets created and to create to handle the city, how the basically the government has created the MLA post, corporator post, the IAS officers, and then the admin departments, the collectors groups, that type of basically posts are created. So like this basically there are many posts also created, and to create one city only, the, these many things are basically, and these all things are basically connected with the human needs generation, because nowadays each and every cities are going to generate human needs. So that basically the by default the Bollywood groups only designs that. So these all things basically we have discussed. So this is basically the 189th number part. In 190, basically we are going to discuss a little bit more about this.